Hello, my name is Eric, and today I'll be discussing the small group interaction assessment. My involvement with the group was different from others in that each group member was receptive of all input from other members. The interactions in this group were positive and yielded constructive criticism. I consider this to be a team rather than a group, primarily because of the way information was exchanged and the delivery of constructive criticism. It also felt like we were all focused towards a common goal rather than being independent of each other. Um, I was assigned the role of team leader. Matunda was the organizer, and Eric was the observer. Um, while Matunda was focused on organizing the meetings, and I was focused on leading the meetings, Eric was taking notes and analyzing market trends for our investments. Um, I initially assumed the role of team leader. However, as the meetings progressed, I did not have to assume this role as much or as often. Um, I did notice that interactions led to varying degrees of hesitations depending on the observer and the leader. Um, I noticed that Matunda's leadership qualities led her to emerge as a second leader within the team. The group accepted this, and eventually Matunda was integrated as a second leader. The main norms that emerged in the group were mutual acknowledgement of others' suggestions, regardless of how viable a suggestion was, as well as reviewing all suggestions carefully. The mutual acknowledgement that emerged in the group was an informal norm, while the cautious consideration of suggestions made was a formal norm. The attendance of group members during the group project remained mostly constant. I did notice that after the second meeting, the involved members stayed later than initially scheduled. Um, Attendance remained mostly constant, and all meetings started and ended with cordial greetings from all members. Um, the day that the group leader became the observer, another member's leadership qualities emerged, leading to the group having two leaders um, in total by the end of the project. Um, the group incorporated a mixture of democratic and laissez-faire leadership. This mixture was successful at ensuring that all team members felt acknowledged. Status and power were evenly distributed throughout the group members. And the two of the involved members, there were two that had status. That was myself and Matunda. And regarding power, I would say all members had power. At no point were there any group members enforcing rules over others, nor were there leaders enforcing directives over group members. Um, I did not notice any power plays among group members, as there were no escalated disagreements, and the involved members had mutual respect for each other and acknowledged all suggestions. At first, interactions were primarily led by the group leader, and as a team had more meetings, interactions among team members did not require as much involvement from the group leader. We did not maintain the same pattern from beginning to end. As a group leader, I noticed that the team was able to exchange information and propose suggestions without as much involvement from the team leader towards the end. I also did not identify any cliques. The group had adequate interactions for the nature of the project's directive. This is because ideas were exchanged in an equitable manner, allowing for all involved members to freely suggest potential decisions without the fear of being immediately dismissed. Following all the meetings, I can confidently say we were a cohesive group, as group members encouraged each other to propose solutions and suggestions regarding the changes in the current stock portfolios. All suggestions were carefully evaluated, and disagreements were respectfully resolved without any type of verbal escalation. As a group, we were able to move through the stages of forming, storming, norming, and performing. From my own perspective, I was able to identify all four stages of group development throughout these interactions. I did notice that during the first meeting, the group appeared to be stuck in the forming stage of group interactions, which seems okay. At the end, we did end up surpassing that and moving on to the next stage. The group collectively sought to follow the project's directive, which was issued via the assignment instructions. This became the agenda of the group. Um, the interactions were resembling of the reflective thinking process, as all members in the group analyzed and evaluated all suggestions and proposals. I also believe that this format was successful at achieving the expected outcome. Based on the group's interactions, I feel we were a very effective group, as we were able to make effective decisions without any major conflicts. I was most pleased with the way all group members processed suggestions and encouraged others to propose new ideas. The only element that would need improvement is the group's ability to leave the forming stage of group development just a tad bit earlier. The two things that I would like to change about the project are the following. First is the project's explicit topic. While making decisions about stock portfolios can be useful at encouraging active discussion, I think it would be best to adjust the topic to be a bit broader and encompass other areas of investments, such as annual budget investments in real estate, retirement funds, and stock investments. Um, Something else that I would like to change is the project's format. Based on the way this project developed, I believe 30-minute meetings as opposed to 15-minute meetings would be more beneficial to group development and would allow for a deeper analysis of the group's interactions. Thank you very much.